Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Greetings of His Excellency the President of Tanzania to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos are conveyed by Tanzanian Prime Minister to His Highness Said Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said. The center of Cyclone Nilofer starts to deviate away from the Sultanate's coasts. The Sultanate and Morocco review enhancing relationships in the fields of civil service and administration development. And the second handicraft industries exhibition is inaugurated in the Governorate of Dakhiliya. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of greetings to Her Excellency President Dilma Rousseff of Brazil on her re-election as the president. An official session of talks between the Sultanate and Tanzania was held today at the cabinet in Muscat. The Omani side was chaired by His Highness Said Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, and the Tanzanian side by His Excellency Mzingo Kayanza Peter Panda, Prime Minister. He conveyed the greetings of His Excellency President Jakaya Mrisho Kikwete of Tanzania to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos and his best wishes to His Majesty, his government, and the Omani people of continued welfare and prosperity, praising what had been achieved on the Omani land of comprehensive renaissance thanks to the wise leadership of His Majesty. His Highness Said Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said started the meeting by welcoming His Excellency the guest and his delegation, expressing the Sultanate's satisfaction for the progress of existing cooperation between the two countries and efforts exerted to develop them for the best. Omani-Tanzanian talks dealt with ways of enhancing spheres of existing cooperation, activating existing agreements, and entrusting officials in both countries to complete pending agreements due to their significance and positive impacts on pushing forward all tracks that serve the interest of the two peoples, especially agriculture, fisheries, livestock, energy resources, ports, and other fields. The talks also discussed benefiting from Omani expertise in some sectors. On the other hand, the meeting dealt with a number of issues in the regional and international arenas. His Excellency, the Prime Minister of Tanzania, expressed his gratitude for visiting the Sultanate, expressing his thanks and appreciation for the warm welcome reflected the depth of relations between the two countries. From his side, His Highness, the Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, requested His Excellency, the guest, to convey the greetings and best wishes of His Majesty to His Excellency the Tanzanian President and the government. His Excellency Mzingo Kayanza Peter Panda, Prime Minister of Tanzania, and his delegation paid a visit today to Petroleum Development Oman (PDO) within the context of his visit to the Sultanate. They got acquainted with the company's main priorities, including health, safety, environment, production, technology, social investment, training, and local added value strategy through finding more jobs and training opportunities for Omanis and achieving more growth for Omani economy. The visit was also a chance to discuss prospects of joint cooperation in the future. The guest and his delegation was received upon arrival at PDO headquarters by His Excellency Engineer Salim bin Nasser Al-Oufi, Undersecretary of Oil and Gas, and senior officials of the company. Latest weather charts indicate that tropical cyclone Nilofer over Central Arabian Sea is still persisting, and its surface wind around the storm estimated to be between 85 and 95 knots. The cyclone center is about 510 kilometers from Oman's southeastern coast. Latest satellite pictures and numerical weather charts indicate that the cyclone will start moving in northeasterly direction away from Oman's coast, heading towards Pakistan and Indian coast in the next 24 hours. Seas will remain very rough along the coast overlooking Arabian Sea and rough along the coast of the Sea of Oman. Moderate to heavy rains are expected over the governorates of Wusta and South Sharqiya, may be accompanied by fresh and strong winds during the period from today evening until the coming Thursday. The Public Authority for Civil Aviation appeals to fishermen and seagoers to avoid venturing out to sea along the coast of Oman and stress the importance of following weather bulletins and updates regarding the latest development in the cyclone. To follow this topic, we have live with us Mr. Abdullah Al-Khadouri, meteorology specialist from the Public Authority for Civil Aviation. Mr. Abdullah, welcome to our news bulletin.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you for being with us today. Mr. Abdullah, what is the latest information on tropical cyclone Nilofer?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Latest weather observations and satellite images indicate still northerly to northeasterly movement of the center of the tropical cyclone in Nilovar. The most of the numerical predictions keep indicating and predicting the same direction of the movement of the tropical cyclone, which is north to northeast away from the Sultanate for the next 12 hours. This is very good news, alhamdulillah, for us. Now the surface wind speed along the center of the tropical cyclone still between 85 knots to 95 knots, which is categorized as grade 2 of tropical cyclone scales. Of course, it can increase to category 3 once we observe a wind speed more than 96 knots. Now, most the weather numerical weather predictions indicate also the effect of this tropical cyclone by advection of clouds, mostly along the coastal areas of the southeastern coastal areas, government of South al-Sharqiyya and al-Wusta. We are expecting heavy to moderate rain in the next few hours and tomorrow. Also, we are expecting for this night and tomorrow advection of medium to low clouds also along the rest of the Sultanate, over Muscat and the rest of the governments, may cause some scattered rain, which is going to be less than affect than the southeastern coastal areas.
Thank you, Mr. Abdullah. So we're also expecting then rains across
Yes.
different governorates of the Sultanate. Thank you very much, Mr. Abdullah, for the updates. That was Mr. Abdullah Al-Khadouri, meteorology specialist from the Public Authority for Civil Aviation. His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Umar bin Saeed Al Marhoun, Minister of Civil Service, discussed in Morocco with His Excellency Mohammed bin Badi', Minister assigned by the Prime Minister for Civil Service and Management Development in Morocco, enhancing existing cooperation between the two countries and activation of Memorandum of Understanding signed by them in the fields of civil service and administrative development. Overspeeding, non-compliance of traffic rules, and using mobile phones while driving are some of the direct reasons to increase the number of road accidents in the Sultanate. This is what Brigadier Engineer Mohammed bin Aoud Al-Rawaz stressed, indicating that road radars contributed in decreasing the road accidents during the last 2 years. It came during the introductory meeting of Thanks for Your Commitment campaign, which was organized by Royal Oman Police for Media in Public Authority for Radio and Television Building. His Excellency Nasser bin Sulaiman Al-Saybani, Vice Chairman of the authority, presided over the meeting, who stressed that media is a partner in highlighting the police message in spreading awareness of road accidents. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Cultural Attaché of the Sultanate's Embassy in Malaysia concludes activities of its Cultural Week. Discussing cooperation in the military field was a main aspect of the meeting held between Lieutenant General Ahmed bin Harith bin Nasser al-Nabhani, Chief of Staff of Sultan's Armed Forces, and his British counterpart Lieutenant General Thomas Beckett, Advisor of the Ministry of Defense for Middle East Affairs. During the meeting, they also reviewed how to get benefited from available expertise of both sides and cooperation in all military fields. Reviewing cooperation in the field of developing expertise in aviation was the main point touched upon at the meeting held between Air Vice Marshal Matar bin Ali al-Ubaidani, Commander of Royal Air Force of Oman, and Lieutenant General Thomas Beckett, Advisor of the Ministry of Defense for Middle East Affairs of the United Kingdom. During the meeting, they also discussed a number of topics of mutual concern and exchanged points of view on matters of mutual interest. Developing working cadres in the medical sector and studying medical findings topped the discussions at the Employment Guidance Day for Medical Specialization held at Sultan Qaboos University. The participating doctors stressed on the importance of providing the medical sector with local cadres of proficient medical specializations who are able to use the latest technologies in medicine. Activities of this day were patronized by His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Saif al-Husni, Undersecretary of the Ministry of Health for Health Affairs. The cultural attaché of the Sultanate's embassy in Malaysia concluded activities of its cultural week. The concluding ceremony included various shows such as singing Omani arts that acquainted the audience with Omani civilization and the role of Omani human in introducing Islam in Africa and East Asian countries. The event was presided over by His Excellency Ambassador Janab Sayyid Fakhri bin Muhammad Al Said, accredited ambassador of the Sultanate to Malaysia. In order to boost strong relations between the Sultanate and China, a delegation from Omani Chinese Friendship Society paid a visit to the Sultanate, aiming to activate joint cooperation between Omani government and private institutions with Chinese institutions in different fields and sectors. The two sides also discussed signing a memorandum of understanding on the implementation on program of the Omani Chinese Friendship Society. The Municipal Council at the Governorate of Dhahra discussed a number of topics related to roads and lighting projects, besides preparing to hold a social development seminar. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Sheikh Saif bin Hamyar Al-Malik Al-Shahi, Governor of Dhahra and Chairman of the Municipal Council. The Council also was briefed about educational plans and programs of the Directorate General of Education in the Governorate of Dhahra, including data statistics, works and projects during the upcoming 5-year plan. It also reviewed works related to municipality affairs in the wilayas of Ibri, Yanqul and Dunk. The second handicraft industries exhibition in the Governorate of Dakhiliya reflected the development and modern of these industries in the time they preserved their identity. The exhibition, which will be open until the end of next week, was inaugurated under the auspices of His Excellency Sheikh Dr. Khalifa bin Hamad Al-Sadi, Governor of Dakhiliya. It aimed to introduce craft industries products, encourage visitors to purchase them, and enabled craftsmen to highlight their handicrafts. Celebration of Omani Youth Day in the Governorate of South Batna revealed youth talents and energy in sports, culture and social fields. Youth of the Governorate expressed their thanks to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos in allocating 26th of October as the Omani Youth Day. The celebration included various items such as poems on Oman, youth and His Majesty the Sultan. Youth message through the stage stressed that youth are the wealth of Oman. At the end of the celebration, a number of youth were honored for their efforts in sports, culture and the social field. Keeping up with the needs of the modern educational process in applying e-education system, Raisut Interactive Digital School project was opened in the Governorate of Dhofar. The project will contribute in developing modern educational methods and working to enrich scientific subjects for the students. The program included electronic exhibition and documentary films, in addition to honoring the cooperative institutions. The Interactive Classes project is considered one of the important developed scientific components at the international level. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Greetings of His Excellency the President of Tanzania to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos are conveyed by Tanzanian Prime Minister to His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said. The center of Cyclone Niloufar starts to deviate away from the Sultanate's coasts. The Sultanate and Morocco review enhancing relationship in the fields of civil service and administration development. And the second handicraft industries exhibition is inaugurated in the Governorate of Dakhiliya. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.